All right, here we go, guys, and it is Thursday, July 12th, I think. Let me look at my phone. Don't know. It's July 11 or 12. Anyway, the video's coming out today, so it's whatever today's date is, Thursday, July 12th, I'm going to say. Picking boats by the side of the road. We got a whole new batch of boats, and just selfishly speaking, I had somebody reach out to me by email yesterday, told me he's looking for his first boat. He's just renting a house with a dock in the back. He wants something affordable, $5,000, and he asked if I wanted to help him and maybe film the process. He's going to reach out to me for more details next week. He's in the process of moving, but I figured there are a few boats. Thank you, Dale, who sent me a couple suggestions, and a couple that I saw too. So we might have anywhere from 2 to 4 boats, depending on if these boats are still there. But yeah, I know one is not going to be within that budget, but maybe a couple of these will. We'll see. 2 I've definitely seen. If they're still there, they might be within the budget. And yeah, we'll see. Now that the season started, hopefully there are some bargains to be had. People will be anxious to sell. So we'll pick it up as we are approaching the first boat, which should be on Route 48, which is really Sound Avenue. It's a few miles up. And we'll check back in when we're in front of that boat, which is a smaller Proline. This one might, if it's still there, this one might fit into that 5K budget. All right, we are heading east now on Route 48, and it's going to be hard to tell, I think, but if you look to the left, you can see the wind today, which is why I'm not out on the water, but Mattituck Strawberry Festival. This is like the big deal in my hometown of Mattituck. Every June they have a big strawberry festival, carnival rides, games, great food, well, carnival food, which is usually good food. It's usually fried food, so can't be too bad. In any event, that's an aside. Now, we're gonna, hopefully that Proline is still there. These small boats, when they're on this road, they don't seem to last. By the way, last time I did this a couple weeks ago, we had the boat that I picked out of all the boats was a 21-foot Sea Hunt. Here's the boat, this boat. That boat has sold. That boat has sold. So we're gonna pull over here. There it is, 21, pardon me, not 21, it's a Proline. Let's put our hazards on and let's see what this one's about. All right, we are on a busy highway. Luckily, it's early in the morning, so this is a Proline. I think they have it typed out, a 1998, 19-foot boat motor trailer Garmin, no paperwork for the trailer, 7,500, 2 numbers there if you're interested. No paperwork for the trailer, but it's a fast load trailer. It's a bunk trailer, looks like it's in good shape. No bimini on this. It is registered through this year in New York, so maybe that means at least within the last 3 years it was running okay. Let's look at the motor. A Black Max, haven't seen one of these in a while. This might be original to the boat. 1,100, I don't know if that denotes 110 horsepower. It might, or whether it means 1,100 cc's. I think it's bigger than that, so likely the horsepower. Cool looking boat. We'll get a look at it from the side. 7,500 bucks. Let's take a peek inside. I'm going to step on the trailer here, on the beam. Yeah, nice little simple layout. See, there's where the Garmin would go. There's the controls, little seat here. It looks like a cooler seat, so you would have storage underneath or use it as a cooler. This is either a live well or, can I open this? Can't open this from here. Oh, I can. Being used as storage. Doesn't look like a live well, but I can't see all the way down. This could be just a big fish box, or pardon me, a kill box if you wanted to use it as that. Open layout in the front, room for another cooler, anchor storage on top, more storage in the front, couple cup holders. There's a way to get into the console for the wiring and stuff. A couple rod holders on each side. Boy, it's loud. A couple 3 rod holders on each side. You can see under each gunnel, there's more room for rod holders. No rod holders in the gunnels except for 2 in the back. I mean, 7,500 bucks, a little bit of spider cracking, but it's, you know, it's an older boat. boarding ladder here. Like anything this age, it's best to get it surveyed just to make sure you're not looking at something catastrophic. Again, it's a 98 boat motor trailer, Garmin GPS, 7500. Does have a stainless prop. Yeah. 19-foot Proline center console. All right. I'm not sure what we have next, but we'll jump back in the Honda, take a couple pictures of this. We'll jump in the Honda and see which boat is next on our list. Okay, next boat we are going to look at is somewhere off Schoolhouse Road and Depot Lane. Depot Lane is just ahead. Well, not just ahead. It's in the next town, Cutchog, a few miles ahead. This is from Dale. He said it's a little whaler. I have a bad feeling this is the little whaler that I featured twice in front of an antique store that hasn't sold yet. Maybe we'll stop and look at it anyway. I'm if I'm remembering correctly, it was in like that $11,000 to $13,000 range the two times I featured it. I featured it 2 years ago. It didn't sell. I saw it was still for sale last year. I looked at it again and I went back and confirmed the price, and it had not come down in price. So we'll see if it's that one. Hopefully it's a new one, but we'll be there in about 5 minutes and we'll check back in when we find that boat. If we can't find that boat, I'll be coming back to talk about the next boat, which is an interesting one. It's definitely not going to be within that $5,000 budget for sure, but it's a really, really cool boat nonetheless. But let's see if that whaler's there first. Well, here is Schoolhouse Road. Oh, there it is. He wasn't kidding. How the heck did he find this? This is really off the beaten path over here. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, what a cool boat. Holy crap, looks like a jet drive. Huh. All right, let's go check it out. Now, is this for sale though? Don't know if it is. Let's see if this is a for sale sign. It's not. Oh, there it is, for sale. It is for sale. That looks like $2,000. It's a 1963 glass par, boat, trailer, and winter cover, 631-655-9462. This is just a cool friggin' boat. Looks like a little Donzi Sweet 16. $2,000, no engine, it looks like. Yeah, here's a steering bar. And there's a plate here to mount an outboard. Man, so this wouldn't be for fishing, but obviously you can fish on any boat. This looks like it was purchased at Hummel's in Howard Beach. That's in Queens. Floor looks solid. Yeah. Dude, this is a nice boat. Oh my God, the fun you could have with this. $2,000, get a little 60 horsepower to put in the back, 50 horsepower, and this would beat a jet ski any day of the week in terms of reliability. It looks like it was at one point in the water. Maybe the engine blew. Who knows how old the engine was? But again, it looks like $2,000. I mean, it's a 1963 boat. Doing some quick math, I know my age, so this is over 60 years old. But boy, oh boy, is it friggin' cool! Wow. Just a cool little speedboat, and it has like that 1960s flair to it, back late 50s, early 60s, the jet look to the automobiles, and it extended to boats. This is just awesome. I'm a sucker for boats like this. One of my dream boats, if I ever win the lottery, is to get a Donzi Sweet 16, which just to tool around the bay and go fast in, and significantly less money you can get this, and add a nice outboard to it and just rip through the bay, the river, near shore. You don't want to really take this in the ocean, obviously, but this is very, very cool. All right, Dale, I appreciate you. Thank you for the lead. Let's see what we have next. All right, we're back on Depot Lane, heading back to Sound Avenue. That little boat was on Schoolhouse Road, I think it's called Schoolhouse Road. A couple people told me about this boat, but I had seen it already. It is a very unique 28 Albin, and there's a backstory to this one. So I don't know what the boat is being sold for, but I did meet the owner 2 or 3 years ago. He owns a landscaping business. He has a huge property on Sound Avenue, Route 48, where we're going to go back on and head east. And he had a friend of his put his boat in his parking lot of the business. And I stopped and reviewed it a couple of years ago, like I said. And this gentleman, and I don't remember his name, I'm going to take a wild guess and say it was Darren. Man, I don't remember his name though. It could be something else. I'm going off memory from 2+ years ago. But you know, he came out after I finished, and he asked if I was the guy from Jigging Jerks, and he introduced himself, and he gave me a tour of his barn, his warehouse, and he had this beautiful boat in it. He kept it in that heated room all winter, and then he would put it in the water in the spring. And it was just an awesome friggin' boat. Again, it's a 28 Albin, but not like the Pilot House version. It's a very unique version. I wouldn't call it a hardcore fishing machine, but maybe a little more like a picnic boat in the first instance, but certainly you can fish on it. Don't know why he's selling. Hopefully he's okay. Again, I met the gentleman once, and I think his name is Darren, but I'm probably wrong, going back on memory. Let's see if that boat's still there. I was there a couple days ago when I drove by, and see what it's about, and if there's a price on it, etc., etc. It's a couple miles ahead. And here it is, pulling in. I mean, you can see it's just a beautiful boat. Beautiful boat. Maybe this gentleman is here and he'll give me some details. All right, let's see what we got. All right, walking up to it, you can see it's an Albin 28 as I described. And I know the video never does it justice how massive these boats are, but you can see this is a keeled boat, so a down east style boat. It's got the bimini on top. It's the paint glistens. It's a beautiful, beautiful boat, and I believe it's powered by a single diesel, but we'll see. Where was the for sale? Call for price. So maybe we'll call for the price. 831-2097. We'll give a call. It's a 2002 Albin 28. Again, you can see just how much draft this boat has. My buddy Captain Mike Beatty's got a 28 Albin. He has the flush deck. I believe this is a box. This isn't a flush deck necessarily, but these go through any type of friggin' weather. I mean, I've been out on Mike's boat where we had no business being out, and it's just a beast. So unfortunately, it's too high up for me to get any video. Maybe we'll just lift this. You'll get hopefully an idea of the interior, the layout. I can't see it right now, so you know, you're gonna have to take my word that it's a nice boat. Like I said, I can't see it. I know it has a really nice cabin inside. All Albins do, and they're just phenomenal riding boats. They're not the fastest, but they're economical with a single diesel. And yeah, they're just meant to go slow, but go through anything within reason. Obviously, you're not going to be out there in 20 footers, but 5 footers would not do anything to slow this boat down. I love the color too on it. Just a beautiful boat. We'll see if we can get a price on it. And you know, this is definitely going to be out of the range of that $5,000 budget. But we got maybe 1, possibly 2 more boats to look at. So we're going to get back on the road. We're going to switch over to the South Road, Route 25. A couple more boats from Dale on that road. Oh no, actually we're going to stay on this road. I think Dale said there was a boat by the rotisserie place, which I think is on this road. So we're going to stay on this road for another, I don't know, 5 minutes and see if we can find that boat. If not, we're going to switch to the South Road and look for that last boat. Hey, I did get in touch with the owner, and yes, his name is Darren. Again, it's a 2002 Albin 28, Hammer 315, 1,500 hours, just 1 hour short of that, actually, 1499. All the 1,000-hour work was done. Literally everything was gone through by Albertson's Marine. That's where I keep It was not a cheap service per Darren. He's asking $115, but that is negotiable. And I'm actually going to do a more detailed review. I'm going to meet Darren later today. And next Thursday, we will publish a more detailed review of this boat, more specifics, and I'll jump inside and get some better video of the inside.
All right, Darren.
For that video next week, but you saw the number earlier in the video. He's asking $115 or best offer for this beautiful Albin.
All right. Dale said that there was a boat by the rotisserie place on this road, which is, it's got so many names. It's really Sound Avenue. It's also Route 48. Oh, it's not Route 48. Sorry, it's Sound Avenue, Route 58, Middle Road, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, he said there was a boat by the rotisserie chicken place, which is just ahead. And actually, we've seen a lot of boats for sale here in the past. I don't really drive by this road that much anymore, this far down, because my boat is on the other road, the South Road. This is more detail than any of you guys need, so I'm just rambling here. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. It's a Grady White. Oh, it's nice looking too. And it is for sale. Well done, Dale. Let's see if we can park somewhere in this parking lot. It's early enough in the morning. It's now 7:03. I started this journey a little after 6. Let's walk across this little cove here, see what we have. This looks like a nice boat. Let's check it out. All right. I hope they're not planting anything here because I'm walking on the dirt to get to this. Looks like a 22 Grady, if I'm... yeah. 222. My buddy John McCreary has one of these with that same engine. His is like an 03, I think. Let's see what this is. It just says for sale. Here's more. 2002 Grady White 222. It's got an 04 trailer. 2002 225, 1375 exhaust done, scope last month perfect. So this is the big issue with this year 225s and some 250s, the V6s. This is the 3 liter block. They would corrode from the inside here, the midsection, up and down. A nightmare. Basically $6,000 repair or new engine, new plugs, new impeller. Otherwise, this is a bulletproof motor. 2 batteries, blah blah blah. Turnkey, ready to go. Clean title, new canvas. $26,995 or best offer. 310-864-5971. Transom looks good. I mean, this is a really, really nice boat. I've spent many hours on my buddy John's boat. We've taken it out to places like the Race, Plum Gut, spent a lot of hours, especially, many years ago. I remember when he got this boat new. These are just battle wagons. You can see the top there, new canvas. There's the helm, there's the seat, there's storage behind there. There's the engine. You can see that big open raised bow with a ton of storage underneath. Footrest there, more storage there. 4 rod holders on top of the T-top. 2 rod holders in each gunnel. There's 4 back there too. Yeah, there's enough rod holders on this boat. And you can see it's a big boat for its size. It's taller than me on the trailer. It's got that Carolina flair to it, like Grady Whites do. They're built in North Carolina. This boat does have wood in it. So like all boats, you want to get it surveyed. But at this price, this is a really good deal. And roller trailer, easy loader. You can hear me grumbling. I'm not a fan of roller trailers, but I understand why most people are. The cool thing about Grady's, very similar to Seacraft's and what's called a variable dead rise hull. It has a very deep entry here, very sharp, and you can see it tapers out in the back. And I believe it's like 19.5 or 20 degrees. This is called a CV2 hull. It's Grady White's proprietary hull. A lot of hours on that engine, but that engine should last 3,000 hours. And the big question with that engine is that midsection and the corrosion it's prone to. And it looks like this owner had it scoped. Of course, you should independently verify all that. Don't take the owner's word for it. Certainly don't take my word for it. But yeah, a brand new 22 Grady White will probably be in that 150,000 and up range. So for significantly less, you get this nice clean boat. And honestly, you know, if I saw this on the water, I would think, and somebody told me it was a 2018 to 2020, you would never know. They haven't changed much in design and style, you know, in the last 25 years. So really nice boat. I think this one is a good deal. Again, it comes with the trailer. It looks like they had a lot of work done on the engine. Independently verify all this, but this is a good one. All right, let's see what we have next, which I believe is one more boat on the other road. All right, we are back on the main road here in Southold, but we're about to enter Greenport in a couple minutes. And this last boat I haven't seen. We're passing Wego, probably the biggest bait and tackle store out here. We have so many good bait and tackle stores out here, guys. We're gonna actually stop at Blue Water on the way home because he's repairing a rod and a reel for us. That's Chris at Blue Water. But this tip is from Dale, and he mentioned a motel here that has been around as long as I've been coming out here, which is 46 years now. We bought our home here in 1979, so since at least then. And as a kid, when we were children, my sister and I, once or twice a year, a treat from our parents, they would bring us to this place, even though it's a motel. No, please keep your mind out of the gutter, nothing seedy like that. They have a mini golf course, and it's right up here. And yeah, that was always one of the highlights of the summer, was doing the mini golf thing. And the golf course is right here. Here's the motel, and here's the boat. So let's pull in. It is a Larson for sale. So this is definitely not the style of boat I would care about, but we're here. Going to be a quick review. It's going to be the last boat. Yep, and these are the motels here on the right, associated with that, with this motel chain, Drosos, and their mini golf course. Let's see what this one's about, and then we'll come back in and I'll offer my closing thoughts. So a couple things I'm noticing right off the back. So it's a Cabrio 220, and you can see it has a bimini top, and I guess that's where the Cabrio comes from, like cabriolet. Basically a soft top type convertible. This might be the most rollers on a roller trailer I have ever seen. Look at this. There's one pair, another 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 pair. Geez, that's a lot of roller trailers. There's some information on the boat in the front. Let's see what it says. It's a 2002 Larson inboard. It's got a Volvo. There's the number if you're interested. I don't think I'm going to call for the price on this one, guys. If anybody really is interested, there's the number, 494-8511. Looks like it was in the water through at least this year. It was registered through at least this year. It says inboard motor. Let's see if that's true. So, I mean, technically not an inboard. It's an inboard-outboard motor. So an inboard would be a straight shaft. This is not a straight shaft. This is a jack shaft or an inboard-outboard. It does have two transducers. Got a nice little boarding ladder, trim tabs. I'm not going to be able to see inside. Those fenders are a little squirrely. We'll just show you the inside. You can judge for yourself. I can't see it, unfortunately, from this vantage point. I mean, if the price is right and you're looking for a non-fishing boat, again, you can fish off any boat, but this is not really designed for fishing. If the price is right and that checks out, because the big issue with Volvo IOs is this, the outdrive. These are known to occasionally spit the bit, and it's quite expensive when you need a new one or to repair it. Not quite as reliable as Merc Cruisers, my opinion. But yeah, that's the issue with these. And I like this, the real rope as a rub rail here instead of plastic or stainless steel. That's actually really cool. Step tail too, so I bet it gets up and goes. I'm sure it has a nice cabin inside, but no price on it. You saw the ad with the phone number. Call if you like. Otherwise, we're going to jump back in the Honda, and I'll offer my closing thoughts on the way to Blue Water, where I'm going to pick up a rod and reel that's being repaired. All right, we just pulled out from seeing that Larson, and you know, I think today's video highlights the problem probably a lot of you looking for a boat have, and I'm thinking of the gentleman who emailed me yesterday. His name is Justin. I just pulled up the email. That if you are looking for a budget boat, your options are limited. So we mentioned Justin has about a $5,000 budget. Two boats likely fall within that budget based on the ones we saw today. That little cool 1963 glass par, no engine. You're going to have to invest some money in an engine, whether it's used or new, and I'm not sure that's what Justin is looking for. My presumption is he's looking for something he can take fishing. So then the closest would be really that Proline we saw right at the beginning, which is 50% over his budget at $7,500, and it's an older one, and it has an original, what looks like an original engine on it, a 1989, if I'm remembering correctly on the year. And obviously you would need to get that boat surveyed and get somebody to check out the engine and all that good stuff, and it would still be over budget. And that's really the problem. Years and years ago, you could find running boats in that $1,500, $2,000, $2,500. And honestly, if I'm Justin, maybe I'm looking at a boat like what John Skinner has, which, you know, he found a 30-year-old Grumman 16-foot aluminum boat. He did put a new engine on it, but he got that boat dirt cheap, and he still had to be, you know, over $5,000 with the engine. But if you can find a little aluminum boat, dirt cheap, deep enough V so that, you know, you could take it out. So not a John boat, but maybe a Starcraft, a Grumman, one of these deeper V, small aluminum boats that are older, maybe have older power but still run. That's probably the best way to go, because it seems anything, you know, 18 feet and up with fiberglass, no matter how much work it might need, it's going to be very difficult to find one that's in that $5,000 and under range. Anyway, those are my thoughts. If it were me and it were my money, and I didn't own a boat and I were looking for a fishing boat, I'm going with that Grady for sure. I would verify everything the seller put in the ad, including that I would ask for receipts to make sure that all that work was done. But that's a bulletproof motor as long as that mid-engine corrosion is not an issue, and they borescope it and they can tell whether the midsection is clean or not. Selfishly, I do own a fishing boat. I have my Eastward 24. If I had to pick one of these boats, I would take that little glass par and try to find a 40 to 60 horsepower engine for it, whether new or used. Great if I could find a nice, low hour, clean used one for not much money, and just have a boat that, if I'm not fishing and I just want to go out and rip it in Peconic Bay and have some fun, that would be an awesome little boat for that. It's like owning a jet ski. Let me know in the comments what you think. Look for that series, hopefully coming up in the next month or so with Justin, where we're going to try to find him a cheap used boat. And if you have a lead on a cheap used boat, definitely email me at jiggingjerks.com. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you like these videos, hit that like button. If you're not already a subscriber and you like content like this, please consider subscribing. If you're not a member of the channel, please consider joining. Lots of perks associated with that, including early access to videos. And right now, I believe next week I am picking a winner on a members only ocean fluke trip for July 4th weekend. So yeah, if you want to get on a fishing trip with me and have a chance to win a fishing trip, become a member and join that contest.